in the growing international standoff over Greenland. Late yesterday, President Trump sent a message to Norway's prime minister linking his aggressive stance on Greenland to last year's decision not to award him the Nobel Peace Prize. He has also threatened new tariffs on multiple European NATO members unless Denmark agrees to sell Greenland. President Trump continues to insist that the U.S. must control Greenland, framing it as a national security issue and questioning Denmark's claim to the territory.
We have to have it. They have to have this done. They can't protect it. Denmark, they're wonderful people. And I know the leaders, they're very good people, but they don't even go there. And, you know, because the boat went there 500 years ago and then left, that doesn't give you title to property. So we'll be talking about it with the various people.
All right, so right now let's get some analysis on all this with Professor Andra Gillespie, a regular here on 11 Alive Plus. She's from Emory University's Department of Political Science. Andra, always great to have you on. So let's talk about it. At its core, what is this big fight over Greenland really about? Is it security, power, politics, or something else?
Well, I think power is definitely at the core of it. President Trump's stated reasons for it don't always add up. And sometimes he says the quiet part out loud. And I think that yesterday was an instance of him saying the quiet part out loud, at least in part. We know that President Trump wants to make a big splash. He definitely wants to leave a mark and literally leave his name on things. And expanding U.S. territory would be something that hasn't been done in a really long time in the United States. So it's something that he would stand out for relative to his recent predecessors. There are security arguments about making sure that the United States is protecting the Arctic Circle, particularly from Russia and China. But the United States actually already has a treaty that was signed by Harry Truman in 1951 that actually does give the United States carte blanche to put U.S. military bases all over the island of Greenland. We've actually pulled back from doing that. We could build those up again. There is this economic concern about the United States wanting access to Greenland's rare minerals, which are becoming increasingly important as we create more batteries. That is something that could be negotiated. But then there is this other part that President Trump has talked about, and I don't know how else to interpret it. But when he says that he is pursuing this aggressive line and he's going to penalize European nations until they put pressure on Denmark to accede to his commands, and then frames it in terms of he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, so therefore he's going to be more aggressive. It's hard not to wonder and to question the extent to which his ego is actually involved in this as well.
Yeah, that's a concern for a lot of people. So, for Andra, for viewers watching this at home, they're hearing about the back and forth. Why would this matter to their everyday lives?
It matters because this has the potential to completely upend the post-World War II, alliance of NATO and protection. And in this particular instance, if we were to become aggressive in the situation, if we were to use military force to take over Greenland, that would be the end of NATO as we know it. So because Greenland is a part of Denmark and Denmark is a signatory to the treaty, Denmark and the United States are part of this mutual safety alliance for much of Europe that says if you attack one, you attack them all. So implicit as part of this alliance is that the members don't attack each other. And this would be an instance of one NATO member attacking another NATO member. It would instantly activate all of the NATO members to come and fight against the United States and to defend the collective interests against the interests of the United States. It would completely ruin the post-World War II alliance that has been built and actually been expanded after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. So this is something that's very serious. It's also serious if we think about sort of other sort of international bodies that I know President Trump is not particularly a fan of, but the idea of engaging in an aggressive action against another country is actually against international law as well. So, I think the question here is, one, why do we want to buy a part of another country, especially when we can take advantage of the resources through our strategic alliances? And then two, if it escalates, what are the consequences of doing that? And we would actually be in the wrong if we did that. Finally, I think it's really important to keep in mind that recent public opinion surveys suggest that the majority of Americans do not support this.
Yeah, it's
and that
certainly.
includes a non-trivial number of Republicans.
Absolutely. Andra Gillespie, thank you so much. We appreciate you.